Go for it.
Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for showing back up. Welcome. We'll do a quick recap to get started. See, as I'm shuffling through all the notes. So, in the last session, the party consolidated in Phandalin, and we're kind of working through Anu's new eye that he got from his patron as a pact of the fiend. Uh, Everybody kind of noticed as they tried to rest in Falendalin that that they couldn't, and they worked through it through a miraculous roll and a divine intervention that Henry rolled. Congratulations! And I'll say one more thing with the divine intervention because he was kind of caught flat-footed, and I owe him a little bit more than what we were doing when we were messing around with that. Uh, but the bottom line is from his divine intervention is that through his what is it, the boon of understanding, I think it was that you got the uh, anyways he got a bonus to his wisdom through the divine intervention, but he also came to realization from Tyr that of all the places for the eye, this lich eye to be, it's probably safest with this party. So he was given a little bit more guidance there as well. The party quickly teleported back to the main teleportation circle in the Palace of Waterdeep. They had a council there after they did some more consolidation. Um, and Sir Jean through Unthar Frume and is it Ulthar Ravengard? Wait, I forget his name. The guy from Baldur's Gate, the main general of the Flaming Fist there, sent back, the battle plans to brief one last Council of Waterdeep, and they described their plan, but they came down to the fact that there was a lack of resources for arcane firepower. There's not a lot of wizards. The Arcane Brotherhood from Luskan only sent 20 wizards, so they came to you with a plea from the Harpers and even King Melandrak, where they wanted you guys to perchance go and speak with the Thayans because that ambassador Nye Ilmich was still north of town, and they beseeched you to go to Thay. They gave you a little bit of briefing as you guys accepted that yeah, you really had to uh, placate to the elitism of the Thayans when you got out there, and everybody kind of acknowledged. You worked your way out of the city. You went to that small cottage that was just north of town. You met with the very dark cachet of a red wizard, and he bamped you without further ado to um, to Thay, and you guys had a meeting with what's called a Tharkrion, which is like a governor of a region of Thay. When you came out of your teleportation, you were on the outskirts of Netherwatch Keep, which I described as like a very arid plateau, more embers and ash, much like another volcanic region. Very dry, very arid, very dark. Clouds, kind of. The clouds are very Barovian-esque. There was a very tall lonely tower with a small circular rampart around it. You guys went in there, described the long, lonely staircase that goes up the center of the tower. You go up, 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 all the way up to the top where you held the first meeting with Thackryon Eseldra Yeth. She read your Lord's Alliance warrants that supposedly binds your safety. She kind of stands there and she was licking what you could see as a long canine, which identified her as a vampire. She was very ominous. She had one of those Elizabethan sunsets on her on behind her white bald head. You know, she's got there's always ornate tattoos on the Thayan's heads. Hers were thunderbolts, like lightning. Not like, you know, she doesn't look like a San Diego Charger, but like she's got like. Anyways, do your best. Imagination in your own mind. She exclaimed sardonically how you're bound in a common cause, and I'll read a little bit of it. That was why Nye Ilmich was sent to Waterdeep as opposed to Waterdeep asking for their help. If you go back in to your memory of shortly before you guys entered the rooms that I'll describe here momentarily, she exclaims that our enemies have become your enemy. We know their weaknesses and the ways of destroying their usefulness. You have the opportunity to discover their hiding places in your strength against their cult allies. Together, we can remove them as a threat to us both. She's very short conversation that she gives you is very direct. Like, I know what you're here for. The enemy of my enemy is my enemy. Uh, you felt as though your candor was being judged as you remembered Leosin's guidance to show complete respect to their elitism. You were then escorted to your customized rooms within the ominous dark tower. The staircase that circled the middle of the tower, as I mentioned, felt extraordinarily lonely. An LOL prize towel in the mix.
Oh, when you whisper, your mic doesn't pick it up.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're discussing putting together an LOL prize towel. So let's see. And if I could, it's a little bit dark, but can I get, as you guys are walking slowly up this lonely staircase to where your rooms are, we're just going to go backwards a little bit. Can I get a persuasion check? Because you spoke, some people answered some questions with Nye Ilmich, or I'm sorry, with Eseldra Yeth. Can I get a persuasion check from Henry? Need one from Henry, Zesus, Cliff, and Foz. Were you spoken to?
Yep.
And Lantoris, did she ask you a question? Connor?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Henry, Zesus, Cliff.
Thesis 19.
Okay.
18 for Foz.
14 for Cliff.
I didn't say do this at disadvantage, guys. And Henry, what you got, buddy?
9. Yep.
Fantastic. All right, second. Sorry. All right, so you guys were then escorted away from these. It was a very, very dark chamber with these lanterns, kind of like their soul lanterns that have, very necrotic energy in them. You were escorted away from there to a very bright, common-looking room. They tried to make it look as human as possible. Like there's little placards like "Human Room Number 1," "Human Room Number 2," or whatnot to just kind of make you feel super comfortable. There's fruits and vegetables and ales at a circular table in this circular room where you guys can all stay. Manu, if you want a room farther away, they could have stepped you away. We can say they did that, but you feel very, very safe in this process. That's the important part. There's a little butler ghoul that's following you guys around. They try to dress him up in his normal common clothes as possible. He identifies himself as Dave, as one does. and Dave the Ghoul, escorts you guys all to your rooms. You feel Connor did a perception check on his room, no traps, nothing like that. Okay. So from there, so Connor, his camera's not up, but bottom line is I made a slight boo-boo staring at Connor doesn't sleep. Who's an elf here? So Connor doesn't sleep. So as Connor may have or may not have heard from a distant room of over top of Foz's head, as you guys drift off into sleep, there's a Thayan looming over top of you, which we closed out the last session with. We have questions for you. And Foz, that'll work out just fine. So we'll start out with you as you wake up. Okay, so go roll me one more. As you see this, give me a wisdom check, please.
Oh, come on.
With disadvantage.
Is that a saving throw or a standard check?
Wisdom saving throw with disadvantage.
Okay. Well, it's not good. 4.
Okay. So you wake up with this, very pale faced, the hood's coming back a little bit because the guy's in Thay. He's not trying to hide himself. He's got the Avatar looking Last Airbender tattoo on his head. And as I had mentioned, we have further questions for you. Then you wake up in this mental fog. You're bound within this mystic cauldron amongst animated chains on your arms, like pulling you, and tentacles wrapping around your legs. There's a dozen red wizards around you, like kind of placidly, kind of staring into this cauldron and in this fence, in this gate. While two more have got these large rods with pokers, and they're beginning to press them into your flesh. You look around and you don't see your armor or anything like that nearby. So we'll put old
Foz says, "Joke's on you. I'm into this stuff."
As you say that, interestingly enough, as you start to speak, your skin just gets pulled back and you feel searing pain. And one of the Thayans are like, "You have not asked a question yet." It's getting real dark here in high fantasy, so just hold on.
Put your kids to bed.
Let me turn on the mature audiences only filter.
Yeah. We promise we won't get that weird. I even edited my shirt, just in case I drop an accidental F-bomb. We just don't go over the top. All right. So one of the Thayans, that you see pressing this, it's a long, shiny steel rod, and it just slips straight into your skin, and it hovers just inside your rib. And you feel it's not very comfortable. Foz. Another one, a face kind of appears pressing against the gate. With his skin, really peeled back. His lips are going underneath. It's just need chapstick really bad. You're not even sure if there's lips there, but this is not good. Why are you in Thay? He asks you.
Dude, can I speak now?
Yeah. So you notice.
No, I'm playing.
Yeah. Whatever weird.
It relaxes a little bit so I can speak.
Yeah. Now you can answer.
We're to gain the alliance of the Thay to help us fight against the forces from Hell.
Okay. All right. Roll a persuasion check, please.
Will do. Give me just a second. So I have something for that. Doodly-doo. D10. Persuasion. Sorry, this takes just a minute.
No, it's okay because there's just.
No, there. I have a maneuver for that.
Okay.
Commanding presence. So that's going to add 5 to it, which brings it up to 14.
Okay. You hear in the corner, "He's flying," as you feel this rods press deeper into your chest, despite the fact that you may or may not have you realize you got to really put on the show here. Let's see. Okay. As the rod, you can feel it going into your lung. What do you know of severance plots? Another question.
I know nothing of severance plots.
Okay, one more persuasion check for me.
Sure. Oh, much better.
Oh, Severin.
Oh, yeah.
Severin's plots.
So that brings
you
it
know
to
several plots. Yeah.
that one's a 23.
Okay. You feel the rod slowly pulling away from your lungs. You know what I mean? You're trying to, as it's something, it wasn't like piercing the lung, but you feel that the pressure kind of relieves. What do you know of Wrath Modar? Comes from a distant table in the back of, like in your peripherals. You're able to sort of lean back, but every time you move, you start feeling a burning, searing pain from one of these tentacles pulling against you. What do you know of Wrath Modar?
All I know is that he's a separatist, and you're probably not a big fan of him.
Okay. Roll another persuasion check.
Lucky, I like my lungs. Oh yeah. Smoked it. That one's good. 25.
Good. As they look around, they're waving and they're kind of nodding at each other. Okay.
Roll the real dice.
Why do you love Mithril so much?
I'm a dwarf. It's one of our most sought after metals of all.
Okay, roll another persuasion check.
Ugh. Not as good. It's 5, 12.
You can roll with advantage on that one.
Oh, thank God. That plus 4 is 16.
There is no magic with him with Mithril. As they kind of look around, and you may have been being prodded based on something that was in your possession. Okay, so you feel another rod from another guy on the other side. One of these long, steel. It's like a steel-looking, dark, coiled, looks a bit like rebar. As it just, you see it poke through your thigh, and then you feel the first jagged edge go into your thigh. What do you know of Zaz Tam?
Damn, which one is that? Out of character. Trying to remember all these crazy names.
You can roll a perception check if you'd like. If you wanna
Yeah,
take a quick
yeah.
take a quick anything you if you try religion or history or anything like that that you're good at, I'll make it sound religion or history because you just got to imagine you hear something weird, you're like, oh, maybe that is that a religious thing, and then kind of
Yeah, the perception check is a 24.
okay, yeah, okay. You know that Zaz Tam is the great Lich Lord of the Thayans, so this is kind of one of
Right.
those.
Okay. Yep.
Do you have any schemes against? But yeah, what do you know of Zaz Tam?
That he is one of your powerful lords.
Okay, persuasion check with advantage.
Oofed. Okay. That's good.
Oh, I got one.
Not as good. 20 even, dirty.
Okay. Uh, so now both of the piercing rods start pushing harder against your lungs as you hear them murmuring and starting to sway. You hear someone from behind them. Uh, hey, do you possess soul coins in your party?
I don't know what a soul coin is.
Okay, roll for persuasion. Unless you're lying, then that's deception. But
Lying. Nope.
I'm not lying.
He does, but Bosme doesn't. That one is a 17.
Okay. As you say this, you wake up and you're just drenched in sweat at this point.
Like,
Cliff.
my thigh. Do I see like,
Yeah.
a hole in my thigh?
Yep.
Or, I mean,
Nope, that's so you wake up in I'm gonna progress the wake up throughout this thing. So Cliff, same thing. As you fall asleep, off to the corner of your bed, just looming above you, there was a space between the bed and the wall, and just over like the back corner, you see this bald head with the same "We have further questions for you," and you wake up in this cauldron. I have minis, so I'll just use minis. They're fun. Oz is out of the hot seat. It's our furbolg / half orc. Anyways, you're in it. Your legs, the sticky, tendrils of the tentacles pulling your legs apart. These chains that are slightly animated are like twisting your arms and pulling you up. You don't have a shirt. You've just got the pants that you were, sleeping in. And the same sort of process that just occurred. One of the faces inside this. You're in a bit of a cage, a circular cage, where this device is, as you wake up from this strange uh, dream spell. But it's just, it's an enhanced dream spell, I think is what they describe it. Uh, you you hear as the face presses up against the cage, "Why are you in Thay?"
To earn the alliance of the Thanes to fight Tiamat.
Okay. Persuasion check.
It's a natural 20.
Okay. Yeah. You hear, you see the face press back, and then you hear from a corner of the room, uh, "What do you know of Severin's plans? The others are lying."
I Can't say I even know the name, Severin.
Okay, roll for persuasion.
It's a 14.
Lies! Lies! You know, you hear them all, and then that's the first lie you hear from the corner. Do you know of Rathmodar? Another face peers like right against your, you know what I mean? Like you can feel the hot breath of one of these red wizards. What do you know of Rathmodar?
Is that something Cliff would know?
You can. So I'm assuming you guys spent many nights together, right? Campfire stuff since Wave Echo Cave, right? Is actually you met him at Wave Echo Cave, right? Or was it in Castle Neritar? So you can roll, just roll a perception check. See if you overheard something with the party.
That is a 26.
Rathmodar, you heard them discussing that they saw his likeness in Skyreach. You know, so as you discuss them, you know, you're like, hey, we were talking to Epione one night, like the Duchy of Skyreach, Skyreach Castle, what happened there? They saw a wizard's room with a library of Thayan plans to resurrect Tiamat, and the individual that they saw there was Rathmodar. And that was, you know, it was odd to them that they were working with the cultists.
Rathmodar is a wizard that supposedly appeared in Skyreach, along with some fan plans concerning Tiamat.
You got a persuasion check?
That's an 11.
Is lying. As you feel like your arms being like pulled, and then this like bright silverish poker starts coming through the fence or the cage itself. It just smoothly goes underneath your skin, and then you can start feeling a little bit of pressure between your ribs. What do you know of the Hell Riders?
I am one of them.
Okay, okay, cool. Roll persuasion check. Short and sweet.
That is a 19.
Okay, you hear like, I should have asked a better question. Like,
Wearing,
okay.
you know, like symbols of Helm all over me.
Yeah. Okay. You hear someone from back in the back's like, ask them about Ashadalan. And then another face peers in. Did you kill the ancient red dragon?
Yes.
Persuasion with advantage?
That is a 19.
Okay. And then you hear from a distance, were there more than just one dragon?
Not to my memory, no. There was a Baylor, though.
You hear like in back, yeah. So there's discussion. Roll persuasion with advantage.
17. The other one was a natural 1.
It's fine. It's an advantage. Yeah. You hear like a Baylor. What was the Baylor doing?
I believe trying to steal the soul of the ancient red dragon. It appeared after we slayed it.
Roll for persuasion. 15? Oh, you wake up and you reach down immediately to see if there's anything there. You look down and you're covered in sweat, but the silver rod is gone. Epione, can you make a as you were walking before you went to sleep, you were trying to keep a little bit of persona of paying respects to Thayans as they walked by you and whatnot. But if could you give me a persuasion check, please? This is your bread and butter, is it not? Yep. Persuasion. Okay. Okay. You went to bed, and the same thing happens. And sorry if this becomes redundant, but I'll just change it up a little bit more. This like floating, like as you wake up, there's just this like almost like a waving, floating cape of a wizard just kind of hovering above you, and the same thing where they ask for more dialogue with you, and you wake up inside this the same cauldron. Oh, where did Epiona go? We haven't played in a while. We lost Epiona. Where is she? She's right here somewhere. Oh, there she is. Yeah, lovely cage. Lovely room of death. Take care now. Yeah. I just demolished my cage. Oh, phooey. So you're sitting there. You're in the Apione nightgown that you'd normally wear. Just for the sake of Louis L'Amour. The shoulder is down just a little bit, and you're just being stretched as far as you can. And these tendrils, these slimy, cuppy, octopus squid tentacles are just like pulling your legs down with the animated chains stretching you as far as you can without necessarily breaking in the same first question. What? You and Thay? Okay, you can roll persuasion with advantage. Okay. They immediately roll into, what do you know of Severin's plot? As you see the banging of this steel rod from the other side with the coil that looks like rebar starts pushing its way into the cage. Just to answer the question, what do you know of Severin's plot? You remember Severin is? This is why we do this. This is why this session's here. It's a recap. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and roll a perception check real quick as you squint one eye. And you're like, Schmeverin. We've just been killing people. I forget. An 11. You're like, yeah. You just Severin. Yep. Okay. Roll a persuasion check. Yeah, so you say, I've seen him before. Is that what you're saying? Roll a deception. So that's a deception. So whatever number that was, roll it in deception. Okay. They're like, what? She's seen him before. All right. Okay. Glad you didn't fail that one. But, all right. And then from a distant cauldron, you see a brazier just kind of like it with ash and sparks kind of fly. What do you know of Wrath Modar? Right. Roll for persuasion. You do. Lies, you hear from the background. More. Tell me why Belgar joined your party.
all friends messaging through. I believe that he just wants to do good for humanity.
Okay, roll for persuasion. From another side, another one like with the lips, with the weird, creepy no lips, the teeth, kind of just showing, like licks their teeth, gets close inside the cauldron. What happens when a dark elf casts sleep upon you? Roll for persuasion. Correct. You get drowsy.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
That's bad.
Turn my mic
Sorry.
on until you shut.
I get one dad joke a session. Okay. All right. So, last one. Okay. Where are all your known teleportation circles?
Personal location. I
Yep.
don't know their whereabouts, but there are people in our party that have those.
You don't know of any teleportation circles? You've never used a teleportation circle as you start seeing them like rumble around. Where were they? Where do they take you? Roll a perception check. I'll help you out on this one. Yeah. So if you want to tell the truth, why don't you just roll twice? No. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Yep. So roll your deception check. You definitely know where teleportation circles are as a spellcaster. There's one in you rolling a one. You're flailing in there. Okay. They're like, wow, yes, she's never used the person. Yeah. And then you wake up. You wake up in your bed, like half off the bed from like flailing. The blankets have been like thrown off the bed, and you wake up just like panting, your hair, sticking to your face from sweat. Connor, you just hear people tossing and turning in bed because you're just doing elf things, you know. I don't know, just standing there doing elf stuff, which is not sleeping. That was an asterisk in this thing as I was going through this, and I was like, why did I use Connor for the first one?
As you like picking on me.
Yeah. But Henry, you rolled a. Yep, you failed your persuasion check. Henry, you wake up. Same thing. The tentacles wrapping around the inner of your thighs, and they're just like pulling you down. You feel this awkward cupping and the sucking bitey of these tendrils, and your arms are being pulled in two different directions as it's twisting. Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. Anyway, so or do you know what I mean? It's spicy Dungeons and Dragons.
I could stand to hear a little more.
It's roll for persuasion. So, why are you in Thay? You hear two voices say unanimously. And yeah,
I'll be completely honest and let them know, hey, we're here to enlist your help in fighting our common enemy.
persuasion with disadvantage.
With disadvantage.
Yep.
So first roll was a 19.
Okay.
Second roll was a 7.
Okay. You hear from the distant corner, that was a lie! What do you
Can
know
I
of Severin's plot?
can I roll lucky on this one? How does that
Yep.
work?
Hey,
So
you
I'm
can
gonna
roll
try.
up.
I'm gonna roll a luck, and we got 13.
Still a lie!
Still okay. Damn it.
Uh, no, it's that lady from, forget, it's been so long. Anyways, what do you know of Severin's, what do you know of Severin's plots?
Uh, I gotta dig deep. Severin's.
This is fantastic. I love you guys,
Yeah.
but this is fantastic. It's a very weird BBEG for this campaign, by the way. Critique number one for this one is there's not enough Severin for Severin being, you know what I mean, the overarching dude. That's
Yeah.
why I've
With
made another one.
so with Henry being the cleric, Henry's much smarter than Nick. Uh, I'm gonna defer to the roll and again telling the truth.
Okay. Um. Okay, so just
Persuasion
roll a
disadvantage.
roll a perception check.
Okay, perception. Gotcha. And for me is wisdom, right? Wisdom perception is
Yeah.
an 8. FML.
Okay. Uh, I think you should know this as your DM, so I'm gonna have you roll a deception check on you trying to try. Well, no, go ahead and roll your persuasion at disadvantage. Because you're honestly being like, I don't know who this guy is.
First roll to 22. Second roll is an 11.
Lie! You hear now this steel rod presses into your lung, and you can feel that it's about to find purchase inside your lung. What do you know of Wrath Modar?
I will detail in story for them our all of our encounters with Wrath Modar. Again, not to draw it all out.
It's a roll persuasion check. I think you said you're going to go into deep detail about everything you know of Wrath Modar.
Yes, and is that at disadvantage?
It is.
Okay, so a 15 and a and a 20.
Okay. As you hear, like you see their long nails starting to scrape against the cage, and you can see more of them are pressed up because they're not really believing you. You go into detail and you described a little bit about how the summoning, and you mentioned Zariel, and they're okay with that. Uh, what happened to Sandersil Morja?
Can I say that, bitch?
Huh?
Can I be like, oh, Sandy? Let's talk
Yeah,
about
yeah.
some Sandy. Now I'm gonna go into like extreme,
Yeah.
Jerry Springer detail about Sandy and Petey and all of our adventures.
Vampire friends.
Yeah, I'm just gonna lay it out there and be like, and refer to her as that bitch.
Okay. Persuasion check.
At disadvantage, first roll's a 19. Second roll is a 26.
Okay. So you described them that you again you met her in Skyreach. She was a a kind of a pain in the ass vampire that found her way even into your Strahd campaign as you guys got pulled into the mist randomly during this long campaign. Where is she now?
That bitch is dead. So we think. I mean,
Okay, roll
I don't know.
up. Persuasion.
Again, at disadvantage?
Nope, advantage this time.
Oh, okay, so. That's a dirty 23. Oh, give
Where
me the
are
dad
all
joke.
the... You hear someone like, tell us where one teleportation circle is.
Oof. Waterdeep.
And as you feel it press in specifically, as like, did she just let him out?
Uh, at our stronghold in Waterdeep.
Abby made a dog war occur. Okay, roll for persuasion. Waterdeep.
Hey, an advantage or disadvantage or
Yep.
normal?
You can go at advantage.
I got 15 on the first, 20 on the second.
And then you hear like this face peer in. Describe this circle to me.
I will do my best outside of, well, it's a circle, and it's got some magic stuff inside.
Are you trying to be as
I'm
deceptive as
trying to,
possible?
no, I'm trying to be slightly vague until they push harder.
Okay. Um,
I guess
hmm.
that is
That's
deceptive.
a deception, buddy. Yeah, so you as you're not fully telling the truth, roll a deception. Or you can tell the truth. It's up to you.
Uh, I'm going to tell the truth. Just because I'm digging myself out of the hole with them, I'm going to stay on that roll.
Okay.
And that's persuasion, right?
Persuasion with advantage.
It's 21 or a 22.
Okay. So as you describe the specific runes, you describe the staircase that leads up to it, and your guys' room to your headquarters, and you describe the stones and things like that, and you see that face like disappear back in the cage as you wake up, covered and drenched in sweat, and clutch your holy symbol, and you sit up and look around the room, looking to see where like the tendrils were wrapped around your legs, where you felt like you'd get like a hickey, and you don't really see anything. Uh, let's see, Dan, make your persuasion check from the evening before.
19.
Okay. You wake up in the cauldron, being stretched apart with the bubbling and like you see the just steam coming out of like the base of this thing. Uh, you're looking out and there's braziers lit in this dark room. The same necrotic soul candles are lit. Why are you in Thay?
Gonna be honest about this one and just let them know that we're there looking
Okay.
for a friend to help us against the rise of Tiamat.
Okay. Persuasion check with advantage.
Crit on the first one.
Okay.
And then 17 on the second.
Okay. What do you know of Severin's plots?
Yeah, I guess with this one I'll be a little honest too. Just let them know what we've encountered in the past and like what our party is.
Okay. So
Seen.
overall, just in case you guys wouldn't know, you would be tracking the Severin is the dragon cult leader.
Yep.
Okay.
The
Persuasion.
time.
Persuasion with advantage.
So 14 and 16.
Oof. Okay. They start like banging against the cage. What do you know of Wrath Modar?
I know that he is, or we think that he's working to help raise Tiamat.
Okay. Persuasion check.
17, 19.
Okay. Where is Zariel's help coming from?
I would have to do a perception check on this one.
Okay.
Perception. That'll be a 19.
Okay. So you know that she's an Archduchess of Avernus. She's currently ruling Avernus. So she's coming. She's pushing most of her assets from the ninth layer of hell, or from the first layer. Sorry. Depends on which direction you're going, I suppose. If you're Asmodeus, maybe. Yeah. Anyways.
And then again with this one, I'll be honest with what I know.
Persuasion check.
Oof. 16 and an 11.
Okay.
Not faring so well.
And then as you're kind of like you notice that you're not being pulled very hard by these tentacles or anything. Like it seems to have relaxed a little bit because you answered so consecutively true. You see from the distance a doorway, and from the doorway there's a cloaked individual, and you hear, "What do you know of our Tam?"
Yeah, I'll have to do a perception on this one again too.
Okay, yeah, no problem. a hasty perception check.
Yeah, it's 23 for perception.
Okay. Yeah, you're tracking that he's the Lich Lord. Uh, they used to be in one type of magic as the Thayans. He overtook them, and he's surrounded by all these Zalkirs and Tharkrions, and
Oh, okay. Alright, yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that one now. And then, yeah, I share what
Okay.
I know for this one.
okay, and just roll persuasion with advantage.
18 and 23.
Okay. Yeah, so you I guess I don't know if the does Lantaurus sleep in a bed? It's like he's just kind of standing there.
Just
You-
standing there slumped over.
yeah, does Lantaurus even sleep? Did we even go through this?
So during a rest, I need at least 6 hours. That's it.
Okay, so you just kind of power down, you put your solar
Yeah,
panels
so
up or something like that.
It's
and-
low
yeah.
power mode, but I can still see and hear everything. It's just
Okay.
motionless, basically.
Okay. All right. Let's see. We are to Zeus. You're last. Sorry, buddy. The way my screens are up. So Manu's up, and then Zeus, you're on deck. Manu, the same thing. Creepy wizard hangs out over you. You're in the cauldron that's been described. You're being spread apart, about to the point where your arm's gonna pull out of socket, and you hear, "Why are you in Thay?"
You invited me.
Roll per persuasion.
16.
So it's lucky.
What do you know of Severin's plot?
I've seen Severin.
You have.
I am the Black Worm Speaker.
Oh, okay. Roll per persuasion. That's something I forgot about. That's right. I forgot that you put the helm down.
13.
No, you. You don't know Black Monarch. Or I'm sorry, Severin. What do you know of Wrath Modar? Another one peers in. I hope you fail by telling the truth the whole time. This is gonna be fantastic. Wait,
I
charisma's
saw.
your joint, though. Isn't charisma your thing?
I don't have great charisma, but I have some. It's
All
better
right.
than it was before. I saw Rath Modar as I killed Asbara Joss.
Yeah, so you hear them in the back. Roll your persuasion check. That's right.
19.
You have good notes. Where's Joss's body?
You should know better than me. You can track every. I'm sure you can track all of your necromancy.
Roll for persuasion.
6.
Lies! And then you see the poker coming in from the side with the rebar, and it presses into your turtle body. As this you hear out of the back of your head, you hear like, "Look at me," and you're able to sort of like look back, and you see this cage with this huge fiend inside of it, just like shackled and pulling, and you see this Phaeton standing outside the cage. It looks at this monster and then looks at you. Have you worked with a devil?
Technically?
Worked with a finely dressed man. I wouldn't call him a devil.
Hey, roll deception.
12.
3 lies. You hear from this guy at the table in front of you. It looks like he's got this book out, and he's got a bit of an orb, a dark orb that he's staring at. What was your devil's name?
Gavin Rossdale.
Are you serious? Is that what you're saying?
I'm totally.
Okay, cool. Roll for deception.
Gavin Passacord Rossdale. It's
Did you say Passacor?
Yeah, I'm throwing that in there in the middle.
Roger. What'd you roll? We can roll with persuasion then.
Yeah, it's still not good. Persuasion, it's 8.
Okay. 4 lies, and then you just feel this tendril of one of the weird squid-looking legs just come up around your neck, and it just starts pulling your head backwards as you look up inside this cauldron, which is the only bright source of light in this room, as these red fans are standing around you, and it's becoming blinding.
Immediately before that, I take a deep breath and hold my breath.
Okay, you try to do that. As you try to take your breath, there's something that's strange about this hopelessness that you're not able to pull in that breath that you're trying to take. How many red dragons did you see in the elemental plane of Earth?
I saw 2.
Okay, roll for persuasion.
14.
You wake up in your bed, and you're completely stiff, almost to the point like you're so sore, like it was the worst day of your life, and you just see blood everywhere. Zesis, you fall asleep. Zip zap zoop zap zoop, red wizard, burp droop zap, cauldron, voop bop, chains pulled, tentacles everywhere. What do you know of Thay? Why are you in Thay? I'm sorry.
Where are we right now?
Thay. Oh, is that your response? Tight. Okay. You were planning on this one. All right, roll for persuasion. Roll for sarcasm.
10.
Okay. La! You see the guy with this book, and he's got this orb in his hand, and another, like this plump-looking, bald-headed, frumpy monster walks up and just writes this, with this weird quill, a 1 inside this book that's floating there now. Beep, beep, what do you know of Severin's plots?
I don't understand what you're telling me, but I'm very hungry right now.
Okay. Hang on, going to WhatsApp. Stop. Anyways, all right. So, okay, roll for deception.
Severin's plot.
Yeah.
So, I know Severin is a Cult of Dragons leader. And he's trying to raise Tiamat.
Okay, roll for persuasion.
12.
You see this little lemure looking thing like inside the room swaying, and the guy next to him, two, and then another guy next to him, that's 2 lies, and they start getting like you can hear them getting excited. We've got one. What do you know of Wrath Modar? You could tell they're like really starting to, communicate with each other, and it's getting a little bit louder in this quiet room where you only hear like a few chains dangling from the ceiling.
I would think you would know the most of Wrath Modar, since he's one of your red wizards that you banned and exiled to the Sword Coast.
Roll for persuasion. Come on, Jesus.
16.
Oh, okay. You hear someone. What is the name of the devil that your turtle is working with?
The devil's name is Zaztam.
Okay, roll deception.
23.
You hear them just like, paladins. You even here in the first place, and you hear this large chain being drug up towards the cage, and there's this other, like, you see 2 whites. They're these, they're like very fit skeletons with still some flesh on them, and they're kind of piercing, glazed over white eyes. You hear this chain move forward, and as the tentacle, another tentacle from the cauldron, reaches out and pulls this chain, and it starts wrapping around your waist. What do you know of the soul coins in your party?
I don't know of any soul coins in my party.
Okay, roll persuasion.
21.
The chain that's around your waist begins to slowly curl up to your chest, with the help of this tentacle, this slimy cupping tentacle. It's getting caught, and Zeus' flesh, and it's just not chill at all. It doesn't feel good. What is the source of Phandolin's power? So you were in Wave Echo Cave. Do you remember like what made Wave Echo Cave so special?
Was it the Wasn't it the pool that was in there?
Yep. So you can roll perception check or persuasion check.
5.
3. You hear. You have used a teleportation circle recently. Describe it to me.
I don't know, man. I just hop into stuff when they tell me to hop into stuff.
You don't remember the color of the runes on the ground? In your mind, you know that they were blue and white.
I don't know.
Perception check. Type.
21.
Okay. I already asked that one. Okay. Okay. Where did that turtle receive the eye? The yellow eye.
Are you referring to?
Were you here in the last session? You were, right? Were you?
I was.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Yeah,
from
Manu took that artifact and put it in his eye.
I believe he got it from Zaztam.
Okay, roll another deception. Oh boy. Okay.
18.
You say 18?
Yeah.
Okay, you wake up covered in sweat. You all stand up, except for Manu. You all stand up just completely soaked. You check your whole body. You had a very fitful sleep. Connor, you're just like, didn't, just wasn't the best sleep ever, that I could get, but you're 8 hours.
Because I obviously had 4 hours of trance sleeping. Because there's obviously a lot of sort of movement in the rooms, I'm just going to sort of every now and then just sort of come out my room and just look around just to make sure nothing's happening, and then go back in. So obviously
Everybody
I'm not
seems
engaging
to be
in
sleeping kind of calmly. Every once in a while, they'll chase the rabbit dog thing, and wake up.
Fair enough. I'll just think that they're having a restless night, and I'll go back in my room.
Yeah, as one would in Fae, you see that as you wake up and you walk around your rooms, there's an assortment of elven leafy foods and stuff that you would. Did I say elfin? Elven leafy foods and things like that you'd enjoy. Lambus bread or whatever the hell, and you're like, oh, tasty, and you eat it. It tastes fantastic. Whatever illusionary properties are in there with the maggots that you're actually eating, it tastes wonderful. Yep, there it is. I have a big thing that says, Tim, remember, Connor doesn't sleep. So you guys wake up. Appione, you wake up. Cliff, you're covered in sweat from a very fitful, restless sleep. You don't gain the benefits of a long rest. Manu, you receive 10 points of necrotic damage. There's blood everywhere inside your bed, but you don't have any visible cuts. You come out of your room as the ghoul Dave is leading you guys to a large a meal, and it looks, what would be the equivalent of a hero's feast. It's not a hero's feast, but what you would normally have for that. Then you've got this like deathly pallor as you guys see Manu, but you're kind of expecting him, based on his recent activities, to maybe that's just a progression of his of whatever as he's becoming more and more of a warlock. when you get to this long table in this room that, despite being inside of Netherwatch Keep, it's well lit. The candles are nice and bright and white, and you sit down. You begin to eat this morning breakfast, and Nye Ilmich, with another one of the uh, red wizards, enter the room, and they say, just have to go back. They thank you for your presence in Thay. They seem to, they kind of got this not a very friendly disposition, but they say that Iseldra Yeth gives you her thanks and will be available to you in your upcoming battle with Tiamat. Nye Ilmich says, I will be accompanying you back to Waterdeep to be the representatives of the Red Wizards of Thay and Zaztown through Eldrith Yeth. As she bows her head slowly and nods to the other Red Wizard who, the skeletons and whites come out with all of your gear. And as Nye Ilmich extends her hands out, and the room where you guys are in this room, and it looked, very common, instantly drops. There's no table in the room anymore, and you look down, there's a teleportation circle around your feet, and before you can react anywhere, Nye Ilmich teleports you directly to Waterdeep, to your teleportation circle that you guys described to the Red Wizard. Nye Ilmich instantly, as you guys arrive, says, I will be meeting with Lady Lariel at your convenience. And, her hands are kept where you can't, the wizard thing where they're underneath their robes. It just kind of stands backwards. You get the sense to the party that she's expecting, the same level of care that you guys received, except for your lovely dream, I suppose. But so you guys all bamf back into this location.
I'm gonna go, God, you guys all look like shit. What happened?
That wasn't fun.
Yeah.
For what?
I've been in worse conditions.
Just so you guys know,
Yeah.
you're not feeling like you just spent 12 some hours not sleeping. So you guys are at the point where you're gonna feel like you're gonna start getting exhaustion for some of the party that received the interrogation.
Yeah, I just tell Connor, that they came to me in a dream, and I'm pretty sure that they were probing me for answers on things, and
They
I just
expect
feel
us
like
to be
shit.
allies with them. They expect
Yeah.
us to be allies with after they treated us like that.
I guess that's their way
Where,
of doing
where,
things.
where is she? Let's go and have a word with her.
Nye
not-
Ilmich
it's
is
just
standing
very
right there, and she was like, "You
No.
guys got to do the tentacle room."
Not everybody got to do the tentacle room, thank you.
So I look over my shoulder and I say, "Oh, okay, let's go for a walk." And we walk on, and then I continue to tell Connor about what happened.
What's the current
We should
condition
te-
of
we
water?
Current condition of Waterdeep. Okay, so if you remember, you guys are in a centrally located place in the palace where you're protected. But if you go up these long stairs, you can find hallway after hallway, great hall, taking a left and a right, and you can look out over a balcony that you're familiar with. That's near where the great hall is, where you guys have your council meetings. You can just hop up there. It is dead. So when you arrived here before, there were tents in the streets from what remained of the rear guard. Griffin riders were, saddling up and putting on the various uh, my, my cavalry vocabulary just emptied out of my head.
We're in Waterdeep now.
You're in Waterdeep. Yeah, you're up there looking over. Yeah, so you guys bamped right out. The Thayans, passive perception, they didn't want you there for a second longer than you needed to because you guys are the Avengers, and before anybody got spry, they wanted you, out of there. So you look out. It's very, very quiet.
So I hope everybody was taking notes on the lay of that place, because I have a feeling it won't be the last time we'll be in there. I don't know about you guys, but I need some rest. I need at least a short rest. So how's everybody feeling? That night really kind of took it out of me.
Same.
Yeah, we all need some sleep.
Feel dirty. I want to go to the church.
Feel dirty. Take me to church. Okay.
But let's. I'll swing by and speak with Lady Lariel if anybody would like to come with me. I want to make sure that she knows that that they would like to talk with her.
Yeah, that sounds
I'll
good.
go with you,
Also,
Claus. I have a question.
Okay.
yeah, I also want to
the-
make sure, because obviously when you guys are sleeping, I'll see if my letter has made it to the Arcane Brotherhood yet.
Okay. You take a moment. Is the neighbor? Okay. So you guys go up into that great hall. It's very quiet. The last time you were here, there were loads of people moving in and out. You remember a lot of people folding up maps and various books and journals and plans and things like that. It's very sparse. It takes a moment, and Lady Lariel comes in. Lord Dagalt Neverember has already gone. Dagnabbit, forget her last name, Waybeard or something like that. She had already departed with the Adbar Iron Guard. So it's just her. She comes in. King Melandrak eventually accompanies her as well. It appears that he doesn't have any intention on heading towards the Well of Dragons. And she's just like, she comes in like very graciously. She's like, General Fosgronlin, thank you so much for what you have done. She's like, you guys look very, very tired. She's like, I understand. It was a very difficult task.
True. That really took a lot out of us, but I think we were successful in our mission, and whatever cost it was worth it.
You hear from behind you like as Nye Ilmich walks into the room as well, with one of the Königsguard behind them, just like, "Oh, sir, is this okay?"
So this leads us into what I'm here for. They would like to speak with you, Lady Lario.
Nye Ilmich, slowly moves forward, shuffles with the robe, not really moving that much. They've got this, cool looking walk, kind of floats ish into the room, and looks at Lady Lariel just with the hood up, so you can't see a lot of the markings on her bald head, the tattoos, and says, "Tam will provide support against the Red Wizards on the battlefield." And just kind of you know, Lady Lariel is just like, kind of nods. She's like, it's very fortunate that all of the world can come together in these dire times. She kind of just closes her eyes a little bit as once again there's this slight shudder, and you can kind of see the dust in places that aren't getting cleaned as much because some of the help staff have already been conscripted into the army, and the dust kind of floats from the Drakhorn, and everybody feels a bit of tension and uneasiness, and you hear Nai Ilmish just kind of, the Drakhorn calls closer here. And, you know, kind of drifts off to the side unless you have any other questions, but has got that I'm a member of this team, but you get the feeling that gonna be in the room picking up as much information as they can as this ambassador at the same time. Manu is... Where's Manu?
I'm right here.
Did you go speak? Did you go with Boz as well?
Are you up with Lady Laria?
Yes.
News. Lady Lariel, I know that you have lots of powers with magical items. This is one of our friends who had to accept this magical eyeball in order to live. We need him by our side in order to fight the battle that we're fighting today. When you look at his eyeball, maybe it'll continue to save his life. This eyeball is causing harm to our party, and you deactivate it. Let us rest.
She reaches, you know, she looks at you. There are a great many powers that are in this world that are even beyond what I can impact. This will take a bit of study. It's very clear to me that this is coming from a very powerful lich. A lich named Vecna. Vecna was a powerful leader of I think they were called the Nether Empire, which is a bunch of long ago. There were sorcerers or wizards, and they had she describes a arcane empire, and he grew up in those ranks and became very, very powerful, but he lost his mind. He became way more powerful, became very corrupt, and ended up creating the collapse of the Netherese empire. She describes a falling out with one of his closest lieutenants named Kaz, which this guy severed the eye and the hand of Vecna, and as Vecna was trying to become a deity, dismissed him to what she would call, you know, she directs to a few tomes and things like that in the library and describes how he's trapped somewhere in the abyss and he's beyond everybody's reach. These artifacts of Vecna have been lost through time, and she describes if they're not destroyed, which would kill Manu in the first place by removing it, and there's no magic that she knows of that can remove that she describes it like maybe in your progressions through life you can find how you can remove it properly or work with it properly. She describes if you were to remove it, it would just, if it's not destroyed properly, it will arrive in places that Vecna chooses. So that if a cultist, or if he ever creates servants somewhere, if his entity can get a hold of these things, he can progress to, you know, his chance of becoming a god. That's not the nearest threat. She's like, there are many things in the world that can bring about, you know, a large and powerful, you know, deity or sub-deity. These artifacts, they exist in the world. she would suggest, of all the places in the world, that she would submit that maybe this is a safe place. Maybe in your hands, it is the safest place that it could be. Because if it's in anywhere else, it's slowly crawling towards an evil entity. If that makes sense. So she peers at it, she does a study, and it doesn't appear that the eye is any sort of transmitter. It doesn't work for it. Okay, so in other lore, the eyes or whatnot, Vecna can look out of it. In this case, in this scenario, it's just its own thing. It's its own eye looking around. It doesn't transmit anywhere. It does emit evil. It is your. She's like, I don't know what, but I can tell you, Manu, whoever you're working with, this device is going to lead you to whatever destiny that is. The hard part is when you may or may not be asked to serve. She's like, I don't know what lies beyond this plot. Devils are always one step ahead. You may be receiving great powers, understandably. Just, there will be a time with your, and you may all be together. There may be a time where you'd have to sacrifice yourselves if you were to give up this device, this artifact. But I can't tell you why you received it. She's like, I know that there's a great deal of trouble in the Blood Wars. And there are many people suing for power as the Blood Wars are peaking. She's like, I don't know much. I know that the Archduchess Zariel is very powerful. And it seems strange that this eye would make it to Faerun and not into her hands. Zariel, she's the Archduchess of the Avernus. She's the ruler of that first level of hell. And what she's describing is, in the world of the martial law that is Avernus, why would an artifact this powerful from a devil not be given to Zariel? She doesn't know that. She's like, that's interesting that she's very concerned that there are a lot of powers moving their ways through the Avernus.
I have two eyes now.
You have what?
I have two eyes now.
Yeah,
I just point to.
Yes, Manu, you do have two eyes. Please use them to protect our realm. Although you may have been given a lot more greed than you normally have, let it still steer you towards the greater good.
I can see now.
She's like, this is, other than being, what more would you like to know? She's pretty smart. So Lady Lariel, if there's somebody who knows this other than a divine intervention, she's got a good idea. She doesn't know the plot behind it. Absolutely. That's why it's probably in the best place. So just, it's not cursed, other than the unfortunate power and the evil of it is going to give you guys a lot of restlessness. She's like, there are many things, if you spellcasters know things like, she speaks of a man named Mordkainen who has a spell that has a special mansion that you can go sleep in on a demiplane. You could have him sleep outside like a dog, and you guys can go inside. She's like, in the grand scheme of things, 300 feet isn't that far, but if you're in a dungeon crawl, that might be a pain. But the stronger you guys get, the more powerful things will enter your adventuring party. she looks around and she's like, I mean, what would you like to be concealed? And she kind of thinks, and she's like, there are great crafters, you know, in Faerun. It,
We gather a lot. Sometimes we're unable to get away from each other. Is there some kind of magical item being through you? Or if we had to split next together, we wouldn't do
she's like, she might not be this. She's like, I don't. She's like, if there is one, it's in this horde that's been collected. If not, I think I could probably create something that could give him a pocket realm to go to rest. She's like, but it would take me some time to build this. She's like, is that what you'd like me to work on in the next coming days?
Does anybody have rope trick? I mean, that seems like a pretty simple solution.
Yeah, she's going through, you know, I mean, all the spells that can be, you know, there's Darren's Tower, there's some properties with Darren's Tower and things like that that can be worked through, but
How about just some sunglasses? Because the dude's eyes weird me out.
I have the eye patch.
Okay, go ahead and put that back on for
That's
now.
awful eye patches.
when every time like he lifts the eye patch, or if it's looking and someone looks at the eye, even out of a glance, the eye immediately moves to you, and you know its cat eye, you know, like starts adjusting on you and just starts staring. Like,
Fiona can only use this so many spell slots, but Fiona does have Arcane Gate, but it has to be 2 places on the ground that I can see.
if that just means you can walk through a wall, correct? Lariel's like, I think you're using that wrong.
That is
Yeah. I will say it's not that far. If you guys did research, looked at your spells, did some creativity stuff, she goes like, I think you guys have been doing a lot of melee range battles and stuff like that. I think if you look hard, a solution will probably come to your mind. If you need a solution and you don't come up with one,
he just pranced.
I can probably come up with it in about 30 days. I can try to reach around, speak to the Arcane Brotherhood and see if there's some sort of pocket dimension ring or a scroll of something or a necklace where Manu can, go to. It's like there's things where you can go to your own pocket dimension. But she's like, unfortunately, it's going to take some time to develop that. It's not something that she's got handy. She's putting a lot of her efforts in her powers into there's I call it the Connor Dome because I didn't know it, but there's a magical dome over top of Waterdeep that keeps out dragons and stuff.
I just look at Epione with my good eye and just go, I'll be good. Good. Don't worry about me, Epione.
So when I rolled for the major deficiencies, I was so psyched when I rolled that major deficiency. I was like, oh man, this is gonna be. So it's definitely something. It's Dungeons and Dragons. I don't do too many things dark, but work it out. You know what I mean? Like you guys got everybody but Tim chat. You guys will come up with a brilliant idea to work around this thing.
Is that the major deficiency? Or the minor deficiency?
Yeah, you don't even know. So there's other ones, and when you do a thing,
right. No, but the sleep thing, the rest sleep thing, is the minor deficiency.
I think it's a major deficiency. I think where
okay.
nobody nobody can sleep within 300 feet of you.
I thought that
What we
was.
need to do. So what we need to do is get him into Tiamat's house a day early or 2 days early. They'll all have exhaustion, and we just walk through them and kill them.
But she lets you know. She's like, they're talking back and forth, and Melandrak has a little bit of a greed on his side, but not the level of Lord Neverember. And as you guys are discussing things, they talk about what they can assume the horde of Tiamat is like now. And the bottom line is, if you searched for up to 2 hours in this, if you're like, I want to find the Holy Avenger, you can look, and if you can stay there for 2 hours and search, boom, you're gonna find it. Any artifact that you look that you can think of. So get your Christmas list going. Things that you'd want to take to hell with you. Is what. It's too much foreshadowing
Water.
from the DM. I'm the most linear.
Lots of water.
Yeah. That being said, Connor, everything that you've been doing lately, you have felt like you've been extraordinarily unlucky.
Have I?
Yep.
Okay.
Ordinarily.
Yeah. Extraordinarily unlucky.
Or as if I've got some type of thing on me that makes me unlucky, type of thing.
Yeah, there's something jingling in your pocket that you probably have too much of, or not enough of, but not the right amount of.
Rhymes with schmoll coins.
Yeah. As you're like, ooh, these are nice, and you hear, like, oh, that's weird.
You make your own luck, it's fine.
Yeah. So, I like these episodes that get your own self in trouble kind of episodes. You guys are at Waterdeep. You're cruising around. Like I said, other than the people that can't be conscripted to go to war, there's elderly kids. And things like that are in town. There aren't too many shops open. Most things are kind of closed up. The guard is very light. There are, we'll say there's a captain that's sitting there, and they let you know that there are 6 Griffin cavalry left. The Königsguard is available, which is your and the Felbar battalion is departed, but the 10 Königsguard that you have are available. If you guys are heading to Elturel by foot, the armies of Elturel leave in 10 days from Elturel. They're all going to consolidate, they're going to rest, they're going to gain their, best possible formation for protection, gather as many metallic dragons as they can. They're the 20 arcane brotherhood types. Something to white.
Do we know? I'll talk to L'Oreal and ask. Do we know if we've had any response from the main leader of the Arcane Brotherhood to our
Shan the Crimson? No. It's still a no. And she expresses her frustration. She's like, I'm withdrawing myself from the Arcane Brotherhood in protest and things like that.
Why don't we publicly proclaim that they are no longer to be dealt with or deal with in any shape or form, like we told them would happen?
Very pragmatic response, as Lady Lariel would. She's like, I don't know if creating more enemies at this time is appropriate.
That's not an enemy. Just tell them they're not going to go and help Tiamat because that's going to worse their cause again. So
yeah.
they can just sit in their little ivory tower and at least they're aware that all the common folk will actually be aware that they've decided not to help.
Yeah. She's like, we're very, she does a non-answer. So we're so grateful that you were able to, provide us with support through the Thayans. The fact that the Thayans would join us in these times in the Arcane Brotherhood. She looks and she's like, they're so confident, and they're acting more as observers and scholars in this fight than actual, participants.
You mean actual people that live in this realm?
She's like, and unfortunately, only 50 wizards were able to come from Silvery Moon, so that puts us, it's not.
I get that.
It's not
so
bad.
Are you unwilling to make a public proclamation then?
She's like, what do you suggest? Are you? And she starts like, she's like, dear Connor, I hope this isn't coming off as a threat towards me. She's like,
no, it's not a threat to you at all. It's just that I'm quite happy to go outside and tell everybody.
Oh yeah, she's like,
she
gives this sort of answer like, yeah, like feel free. In her position as the unmasked lord of one of those things of Waterdeep, she doesn't necessarily want to rock the boats for, Arcane Brotherhood provides a lot of commerce into the town. There's
I understand that.
The University of Actual Phoenix is outside, and, the Arcane Brotherhood professors, they accredit a lot of institutions there. Words. She goes on trailing and digressing, and
Connor's basically went, fair enough, and he's walked off because he's going to write a speech. In his very elegant way, but he's not.
Like to talk to us about it, Connor.
He's going to do it in an accent, like if he was from the United Kingdom or something.
I'll talk to you guys first.
Okay, so you're not not necessarily acting on behalf of the duchy. Or
I may.
All right, I'll say.
or we may get somebody in the duchy that is a lot more eloquent than I am to put a proper speech together.
Not Manu.
Nope.
Well, there's really nobody in the town to proclaim to, so.
Is there, question for Lariel, is the Revenge and Indefatigable, are they in port?
Cthulhu's Revenge, and yes, they are.
Then we'll take those to, south.
Okay, yeah, so, after, we'll say everybody got a long, short rest. You guys had a long rest. You guys spoke with Lady Lariel throughout the evening or whatnot. Did you just want to head down to the port to kind of check on them?
Yeah, I was going to find out about Gale Docks, Captain Treville, find out how they're doing, pay them out of...
So they're up and they're discussing things with Lady Lariel, and you kind of walk out the back and you walk through town. As you're walking through town, you see that like animals are a little bit like weird with you. Like a cat will just kind of scurry away, and where you'd see a bleeding goat, next to you, they push to the other side of the fence as you walk up. You're definitely an anti-druid now, or whatever. Like whatever your eye is doing is just making things kind of uncomfortable that have senses like that. You walk down into the docks. You guys are kind of in the Cthulhu's Revenge and the Indefatigable are pulled closer into where the Waterdeep Palace ships are. There's like one or two ships there. There's a lot of the boats pulling security out into the bay. You see about 2 or 3 of them, as this is kind of, what is it called, like a warm harbor or whatever. It's deeper. It's a deeper harbor. There's the commerce seems to be slowed, and you've noticed that several of the boats have been used to transport goods or whatnot down to the Chowanthar River by Baldur's Gate. But you go down there and your ships are docked next to each other, and you see shades of heads bobbing around onto the ship, the sound of a distant bell, dinging. But it doesn't look like there's a lot of activity. They did their job. They landed their troop there, and there was that tavern, I think Drunken Duck 2.0.
Yeah.
Is at the base of the as you walk down and you're zigzagging down the hill towards the dock. You come out and there's the city, and then I don't know. There's another bit of town. It's to the west of the city, and there's just small activity.
Are Dox and Trevi, are they down there, or are they with?
They are.
So I'm just gonna converse with them, talk about what's transpired over the last since the last time I saw them.
You get onto the boat, and the boat is very quiet. There's cots and things like that pulled up everywhere. They're cleaning the boats and whatnot, but they're not. They weren't prepared for anything. So Gale Dox comes up and says that Trevi is in town, but not that far off. But Gale Dox is there with the two ships.
Gotcha. So I'm just gonna ask him. The Avengers, we're getting ready to head south. How soon could you guys be ready to make a trip south to Baldur's Gate?
Well, within they stand up like, yeah. I mean, if it's you guys, by morning, yeah, he kind of does the math, and he's like, but we could leave, within the next day and a half, maybe with the tide tomorrow.
What would you be comfortable with?
2 days to gather enough resources to get the crew.
We'll give you 2 days, and then we'll push out.
Okay.
We're gonna get.
Yeah,
we're gonna get there quicker by boat than by ship than we are by land. So,
okay.
Prepare for anything.
You notice he's got a pretty steady limp and a scar on his neck that's very visible from the fight that you guys had. Some of the crewmen are sitting there as well, have some decent scars, but the crew, as green as they were the first time you saw them, you can tell that they're a little bit, more salty after that fight with the lizard folk and stuff off the Castle Naertar mission. But he yells things, yells in sailor, and all dudes start swinging arms and running off the deck, and he asks, he's like he brings you aside, and he's like, just so you, sir, for do you have a couple, if you want this to happen quickly, he's like, probably close to 1,000 gold would help grease the skids here. 500 per ship. What's that?
I gotta slow this down. Are we a part of this at all, or is this just Manu off running around playing with his ships? Because
you guys
I don't want to ride the ship at all.
Oh, okay.
So, can we have a conversation before you start spending gold? And maybe we should take the bag of holding away from Intelligence 1 Manu.
Sure. Yeah, you guys can have a discussion. And so this conversation could happen whenever. Like, as you guys are with Lady Lariel or whatnot, if you guys want to be like, hey, can we huddle up real fast and figure out where we're going? Yeah, absolutely. Manu, you know that you have the resources of your ship, how much it would cost or whatnot, because you ran around, and then you come back up to the party and be like, hey, this is what I've got.
I guess not. Yeah.
So
I'm just finding out. It's like I'm seeing if the ships are there, seeing if we have the resources available to do this, because it is faster than going by land. That's
It's not as fast as going by magic.
Yeah. And yeah, and I feel like putting us all in one small location in the middle of the ocean is probably not the best idea either. Considering they have dragons at their disposal, and who knows what else from hell. I feel more comfortable on land, and if we have the ability to use a teleportation circle, that sounds better to me.
Do we still have our wyverns?
You have your wyverns?
I'm asking.
Didn't one of those? They stole some of them, didn't they?
I don't
Did
remember.
they break in and steal them when you guys went? You guys went up to that iceberg, right, Foz? Didn't they?
We ended up with like one left. But
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So I'll say
It's been like a year and a half
two
years.
two wyverns left with the mithril. You guys have the mithril spurs.
Mithril
all
spurs,
day.
yep, yeah.
Yeah,
so
I'm
you
just
got-
I'm just trying to see what
resources.
what
got.
resources do we have from all
No,
the
this is
crap that
fantastic.
we have.
I mean, this is the first time we've been able to take a pause. You have 2 wyverns. You've got 2 ships that are galleon-sized ships. One of them's considered gargantuan. The Cthulhu's Revenge is a big-ass ship.
We got Dave the Saber Cat from Morovia.
Dave is with the Duchy of Skyreach, unfortunately. He left. You gave him to Paige to take north.
Damn it.
With the B team.
Yep.
The B team.
I
Well,
have
that changes name to
that
Cringe.
helps call.
What's that, Foz?
I said I have a green rabbit that has 1 hit point, if that helps at all. Just want to make sure we're
Right.
keeping all of our assets here.
This stuff's awesome. I love the asset consolidation phase. So, like, yeah, you don't, all of your pages and servants and things like that, they all, like, Jamna, Glean Silver's gone. They all departed to go talk to the giants, which is the huge deal if they succeed. And you guys scried last time, correct? And you saw that they were going up a mountain. That Foz you described, and it sounds like the place that forget his name right now. The Storm Giant said that he was going.
Lagothkus?
Hey, all right.
I remember
It
these.
was a very Lord of the Rings description of going.
Yeah, I tried. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm with Connor. I mean, if we're able to use a teleportation scroll to get down, or circle to get down there.
So
that
let me
would
set the
be
scene.
Fantastic.
Are you guys all in like the Great Hall at a table, kind of discussing this stuff? Are you down in your?
I would say
Duchy
we
of
would
Skyreach
meet, we would
rooms?
meet back up in the keep.
Yeah,
Okay, so you guys
In
are
our
back up
private room.
in your private area.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll say 2 Koenigsguards are dispatched to watch the door. Nye Ilmich is like, ooh, it seems like really good quarters. Could I too stay here? And you guys are like, nope. And he goes and stays in his own place. But feel free to.
Tim froze.
Have we lost Tim?
Yep.
Does that mean we can make up what the DM's saying
Yep.
now and it's canon?
Yep.
It's a great
exactly.
shot of him, though.
It is a good one.
Right. So Tim's
Somebody
basically
cast the
gave us
spell.
permission to find any items we want in Waterdeep because he explicitly said there's not many guards.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Is there a Holy
So-
Avenger sitting around somewhere?
If we knew a
Funny you should mention
roguish
it.
type character, that may be able to sneak into places and borrow things.
I mean, we used to.
Yep. You
Oh,
talking
we've
to him?
lost.
Maps
Completely.
just dropped
Manu?
too. Yeah.
Uh
You talking to him?
oh. No, he's lost. Looks like he's lost internet completely.
Yeah, his zoom
Goes-
for the maps
go to
just
cell.
dropped for me.
Yep.
Well, let's go. Let's take a 5 or 10 minute break. It's about that time anyway.
Yep.
If you guys want to grab a sandwich.
Sounds like a plan. See you in a little
We'll,
bit.
we'll go to break, people.
Okay.
Thank you.
2 wyverns, 2 ships, 10 Königsguards. These are your kind of assets that you have. Pete or Connor, the Eldritch Knights have dispatch with the sun that starts with an A. I forget.
It's Etrel.
Yeah, he's down in Alterel. Let's see. Yeah, so you guys are there. Epione, anything? You said you wanted to do something before we departed? Yes. Yep, so
Larson.
your necklace, you're the ability to take, so if you're able to meditate for 30 minutes, you can communicate. You're meditating for 30 minutes, but it's a short, you know, interaction. Yeah, if it's DM amount of minutes, it's got plot minutes. But yeah, so you take a moment, you clutch the peridot that's on your chest. You sit however Epione meditates, standing, whatever ominous way you want to do that. That's your agency. Away you go. Before anybody starts going, hey, don't side quest real quick. Is everybody comfortable? Manu went down and talked to the ship. Is everybody comfortable with Epione doing a quick meditation? Okay. Okay. Do you want anybody watching you or anything like that? Okay. Yeah, so your room has got your own area to meditate, so everybody could design their room in any sort of way. Like Cliff and Zesis are there. They're putting up pictures of Helm. There's an old man there. That's, how would you like this set up? So, go ahead, Ben. Or, I mean, Epione.
Kneeling there, meditating, probably to Nirvana.
Okay. Yeah, so you close your eyes, you're on the empty floor, and you feel the slight pull of a scry, and you see yourself drifting way above the palace and the city below you into the clouds, and then just this dive straight into the ground. You see rock formations, darkness like flowing by, then through a bit of a astral plane. This is beyond a scry, the power to be able to do this, to get to wherever your patron is. You drift into this Badlands. You see way above in these wispy clouds of very large, long wasteland. Very tumbleweeds energy. And as you fly deep down into the searing heat, as you're getting closer on this plane, where it just seems like endless, almost like it's not just desert sand, but there's rock formations. But from the corner of your eye, you can see out. You see this weird looking, what would you call it? Mad Max looking vehicle just zip through these Badlands and just like flying with this dust trail way off. And you descend, and there it is, this lonely cage with a blue-skinned, golden, piercing eyes, flowing blonde hair, and tucked-in wings, hanging on to this cage, appears upward as your focus, and you have this entity about yourself that can kind of float outside the cage. How close are you to freeing me from my bonds? Very well. What do you have?
What can I do to help?
The first step is arriving here, but I don't know if that's the right choice. We can work together. Tiamat is near the Divine Gate. I can feel her presence being moved from this plane into yours.
What can do to stop it at this point?
Facing her at the center of the ritual will probably be your best bet. I'm not as good at this as I. It's like I'm sure there would be a vacuum of power somewhere in your realm. I would follow wherever that is. I'm sure that somebody out there can tell you where this ritual is happening.
Just came back from Thanos.
Yeah.
Fans with lots of questions about wizards with power in cahoots with Tiamat. Should they be helping the rest of Tiamat?
You speak of red wizards. Their power is directly channeled through places like the Avernus. They make a lot of deals with devils. You need to be careful with giving true names out or anything like that that will empower Thayans on their side. There are certain rituals that can be cast by them. I imagine that the Thayans will flock to a ritual like this because in order to free Tiamat, she needs to be released from Zariel. Zariel is who I was tasked to negotiate with as a and I wasn't able to reach Zariel, but I did discover you.
Zariel, she's from the first level of hell, is that
She's like, this is the Avernus where I am currently imprisoned. She is here. There is a citadel not far. What? You alright, bud?
Impressive.
Ariel, is that the magic word?
Impressive out there. I mean, you walk out and it's like.
Yeah, so he describes
Catches your breath,
that this
like,
is
takes your
Avernus
breath.
as he looks about this endless landscape of wasteland. It's like this is ruled by
Feels like
devils.
100 degrees. Yep.
Within the Avernus that bisects this plane is the river Styx. Styx has a weird property to it where it can get to different levels of hell to include the abyss. And the abyss is where the demons are coming. And great wars between demons and devils occurred here often. That's where Zariel was consumed by darkness. She was once a great angel and a leader of paladins.
she still having compassion?
Perhaps she has fallen to great evil. I can only bet through her mind that she is not only giving Tiamat up for greater power through most likely sacrifices, once she figures out that she can gain the souls from your vision holes, you see the vast wasteland before you, and you eject through a plane, through the divine gate. You see Waterdeep below you from thousands of feet, and return to your place of meditation. But, yeah, so you're back. Yeah, you're back. These divine interventions get you guys caught off guard every time. You're like, hang on, I wanna go talk with this. Oh shoot! What's
Like, hey, Tyr, how you doing, buddy? How's things?
I'm gonna sit there and meditate about it for a little bit.
As I'm back with the powers that be, like Foz and the people in charge, I know I'm just
Okay.
a lackey. I'm gonna go. What are we going to do about this Arcane Brotherhood? They're doing what I've lost every single ounce of credibility for them. We need to at least let the people know at some point, and when we do it, I don't know because obviously there's no one around here. But at the moment, I feel that they're getting off scot-free. Just because I'm not joining in, they think there's no downside to it.
can tell that's really you're pretty distraught about that. Kind of saw it coming,
Look.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
I
Even the
think
elves
that-
have joined in.
Yeah, I know. So, I would say that I agree with you that it needs to be brought to attention. Just maybe not now. Maybe we will let this play out and give them an opportunity to come to their senses. We'll see what happens, but I don't foresee that happening with them.
No, me either. Just in conflict, you have to make choices, and you have to you have to join a side. You can't just go.
Yeah, I'm with you. I just don't know who. I don't know who you're going to talk to. I don't know who we are going to talk to. You know, I mean,
Well, it's not the right time because there's no point. At some point, we're going to have to address the armies.
Yeah.
That's not the right time. We need a morale building,
right.
rousing speech for everyone. As I've been in so many conflicts, you need a leader out there that is literally, yes, we've got this. Let's go. We don't want negativity sort of going into that one. But how
Yeah,
about
I
we
feel,
start a flyer campaign, and we just drop flyers all over the realms as we're going.
Is somebody going to make a trifold?
Yeah, I think we are. Yeah,
Connor, call your friends. We're gonna have a grassroots campaign to stop
yeah.
Tiamat.
I think that we'll just do that. That's done. Yeah,
Starting with the
I'll
people.
do it the most politest British thing we can. We'll just do. I know.
That's an oxymoron.
Shut it. We'll do online poll just to make them aware that everyone's not happy with them.
Fantastic.
And it'll be a strongly worded, very polite message sent to them.
Yeah. Malandrak's about this. You know, he wants to take as much advantage of this as well. So he hasn't been really enthusiastic about anything, but he's helping you write a very strongly worded trifold to disseminate to whoever will listen.
They're effective. I have a lot of experience with trifolds. They're very effective.
So Epione, you finish your dialogue with Nirvana. You return back. Everybody's kind of sitting in the, there's these long, low-backed leather couches and a crackling fire and assortment of ales and elven wines. It's a pretty cool little clubhouse you guys got.
Back there in the bushes.
Say, I had an interesting conversation today.
Oh, with who?
I talked to Nirvana today, and I believe Zariel is going to be the one to set Tiamat free. By some ritual, possibly a Thayan ritual.
Is it a Thayan ritual?
Possibly.
And our Thayans track their Thayans to find where this ritual is.
Right.
Exactly.
You know, the only enemy of the Thayan that I know of right now is Rath Mordor. Right?
Yeah, but if Rath Modar is the one that's going, because what I think's happening is Rath Modar is a Thayan, so he's the one that's doing the summoning with Azrael and helping them out. Our Thayans are the ones that don't want Tiamat to be here. So can
Right.
our lot find where Rath Modar's doing this ritual-y thing and help us?
Well, I know that Zariel is currently in the Abyss.
Avernus.
Avernus.
Yeah.
Well, that's not really a
Okay.
holiday.
There's just
That's not
tons
really-
of different kinds of hells. Avernus being one of them, the Abyss being a hell, but kind of on a parallel hell. It's the Abyss. It's weird.
Doesn't sound like a good holiday destination, though.
There's like a Shadowfell. There's all sorts of.
This
So I believe Nimilla. I can't even say the name.
Nye Ilmich, yeah.
There you
And
go.
I only know that because I'm looking at the name right here.
Yeah, I was about to pull it up. Yeah, that guy or gal, guy. Yeah.
Gal.
I believe they're still here. Gal.
Yep.
Going with it. Is still here. Maybe we bring it up with them. And see if they want to jump on the opportunity.
That sounds like a fine plan.
Okay. Well, let's maybe let's do that now. Let's leave this room. Let's go back up and seek audience with Lady Lariel first, and just run it past her first. But I think that this is probably a good opportunity for us. And you know, it may we may get some favor with the Fae in some way. Who knows?
So
Who knows?
Lady Lariel is at your disposal while you're here. Yeah, like she's pretty much the only one that's here. When you do see her, you can tell that she's bolstering the city's defenses as much as possible, and you know, adding mod 15.5 to the Waterdeep dome and things like that. So she comes forward and she's like, how's it going, Lynn? You've asked for my audience. How may I serve you?
All right, I'm sorry for taking your time, but something important's come up. Epione has had audience with me and has found that potentially Tiamat's being resurrected to this plane by Thayan ritual. What we think is that maybe we should be conversing with the Thay now to see if they have any way of detecting where this ritual may be happening, or who they think may be doing it, or if they have any kind of counsel on how we can get involved, or give us any kind of leg up, and just wanted to run it past you and see if you knew anything more, or if you had any guidance on that.
He's like, Leosin is still present. He's been conversing with Nye Ilmich in cones of truth and zones of truth over the past, since over the past 8 hours to see what can be done. Would you like me to summon him or Nye Ilmich personally?
Both, if possible.
Yeah, she summons him. You guys wait like 5-10 minutes later, and Leosin enters the room. Hi, hey guys! Oh, welcome back! Woo!
What's up, Liam Neeson?
Looks like you guys got all of your appendages. So how did it go?
Yeah, some of us gained new appendages. So
Fun?
No, not recently.
Okay. Yeah. How can I help you? I've been questioning the Thayan that's going to be accompanying us. He's like, I travel south in the morning. I'll be leaving with and he looks at Zesis and Cliff, the group of Hell Riders, with Rhea Moonshine. She arrived last night. So Hell Rider, I think her name's Rhea Moonshine, something or other. She was the leader of the Hell Riders. Yeah. She's down here, and he was just gonna hop a ride with them and bring the Thayan south with them. But anyways, yeah. How can I help you
It's
guys?
just him. It's just him in the room right now, and not.
No. I would let you know if So no Thayans.
So then I'll just let him know what I just told Lady Lariel.
Okay.
Just see what his input is.
To the Theon, on our behalf.
Okay.
I spoke to Nirvana.
Okay.
Thayan ritual.
Yes, of course. Yes, we're tracking that. He's like, thank you so much for all the documents you brought from Skyreach. Yes, they are. And he just cuts to the chase. He's like, the Thayans that are part of the Thayan resurrection. Thank you so much. We found out that the Thayan resurrection is being led by Rath Modar, and what they're doing from what we're gathering from the Harpers and what we're gathering from the Stain. He's like, this is brilliant. We're so happy that you were able to get this resource because it appears they are desperate by this lich named Zaztam to destroy those Thains. The one thing that's important is they are blocked by seeing what the ritual is and where the Red Wizards are. They've done a good job of covering their tracks. So the Red Wizards, they want us to bring Nine Ilmich to the fight. And when he gets there, he will be able to summon Red Wizards to join our ranks, and they will fight each other. Now, we put him under a zone of truth. This isn't a double cross. And we share zones of truth to him. And we believe that there is a plausible reason why Zaztam would definitely want Rathmodar dead. Now, Rathmodar, he's using, and of course you've noticed, some of you, that there are many captured peoples across Faerûns, and they're being used as human sacrifices. The human sacrifices are being pushed into something in the Well of Dragons as an offering to Zariel. The more soldiers she gets, the more powerful that she is. Tiamat is not friendly with Zariel. Zariel must keep Tiamat prisoned in the Avernus. So, the souls that Zariel receives are active soldiers in her war. And this is called the Blood Wars. So, Tiamat is in prison in Avernus, and it is a burden to Zariel. Zariel, through this man named Severin and Rathmodar, made a deal with Zariel to pull Tiamat from the reign for souls and power and treasures and things that make a devil stronger.
Well, is there anything that we can offer Zariel to be on our side?
Zariel is an archduchess of hell. I would say Tiamat would be a better ally than Zariel. Like, just like, anything that you get from her is going to cost a lot. She's a very intelligent devil general that is going to win the Blood Wars in her mind. She was emplaced by Asmodeus. He is a dick.
Suggest that we ignore her at all costs and just face Tiamat.
I would say Tiamat is the closest alligator to the boat. I would definitely protect Faerûn, and he looks across the room to Lady Lariel, and he's like nodding as they've probably had discussions about this before, that Tiamat, that needs to be stopped. From there, we must decide what the next step is, because I think Zariel is thirsting for the souls of Faerûn to win the Blood Wars. And as evil has been running about Faerûn, more and more avenues for her to make deals like this have probably happened without the Harper's knowledge. Huzzah! The Dungeon Master says in Sensei. Yes, excellent, and I bought the Avernus campaign books, and this will be fantastic. Just kidding, but yeah. So, yeah. You're getting it! Yeah. Inspiration. JK, LOL. Do what you want. But yeah, so you're getting the idea that yes, this, you know, as you're becoming more, you're wiser about what's going on across the plains. Tiamat is being released, and it's just gonna get, you know what I mean? It could just get worse from this point, because the epicenter, you know what I mean? The bad beyond Tiamat is what's happening in the Avernus. Avernus being the closest source to what's creating the troubles. Right now? Yeah.
So it sounds like they already know what we know, essentially. The Fae.
From information passing back and forth from the Harpers and the Thains, as you know, Cobra and G.I. Joe work together to get rid of Serpentor or whatever, you know, like that's what's going on.
Yep. Well,
Like Tiamat, the
we'll have to take a.
and other
So Wrath Modar is at the Well of Dragons, and he says we have Harper agents that are able to use sending, and they use intricate sending. So we have agents that are there with some members of the Emerald Enclave and the Zentarum. He looks at, yep. If they're working together to send messages back. Now, a great army and fortresses, and redoubts are being built around this caldera in the Well of Dragons. There's dragon patrols, but the very, very good Harpers are letting us know that Wrath Modar is indeed inside the caldera. Severin himself is inside the caldera. Very select of powerful wizards have recessed into the caldera itself, where we cannot get our eyes in. There's just too many guards, too many dragons. The great Lenathon is there. In terms of most powerful dragons, there is an ancient blue dragon that is just roosting on the mountain itself, not going in the caldera, but just its gaze. If you remember Lenathon from Greenest, remember the lightning dragon that
Lenathon!
Yeah, Lenathon is there. There is a black dragon there as well, an adult black dragon, and there's several other, lesser dragons, but there are many, many chromatic dragons that are in the caldera, which are going to make it our well itself. The well, he describes, is a great valley. So imagine there's a caldera, a Mount Rainier in the center, but then there's another circular ridge line around that, and inside this ridge line there are a great many forts and roosts for dragons and stuff. It's a mess, so we're gonna have to go in there with just mass and clear a path and a distraction for you guys.
being said, I know Tiamat is the mother of all dragons. Any dragons out there that are not on their side.
All the metallic dragons. Yes, remember when we went? Protanthar is in the fight. Protanthar is going to do his best to protect the armies moving. Protanthar is the only ancient dragon that you guys have at your disposal, and there's probably, describes 6 or 7 metallic dragons, many young dragons that are growing, but metallic dragons are rarer. Because they've been murdered and ganged up on. When the Drakhorn called and made all their chromatic dragons work together, they were able to gang up on silver dragons and gold and copper and brass and things like that.
We have a tough journey ahead.
Indeed. So, is there a thing? Oh, by the way, he told me if you'll all look in your bags, in your pockets, they managed to slip something in your pockets. If in Faz, you reach in your pocket and you pull out, there's a finger bone inside your pocket. He's like, if you break this bone, it acts like a scroll of protection against undead. You all have one on your possession. Isn't that interesting? These Thayans, for as nasty as they are really concerned, and I think they are betting their odds on you. Hedging their Kentucky Derbies upon you guys. My vocabulary is gone.
Have they got any protection from dragon ones?
No, but so you know that you have a scroll of protection, of heroism. It's a scroll of heroism for one-time use, DC heroism. So you got to read it. So good luck.
Can I? Question.
Is it individual or is it more than one individual?
He is just the one. He asked for the one. Yeah. He doesn't.
Manu, are you hanging those up around the town?
Well, that's the back of the trifold.
Use it. Just put it on the screen. You can get rid of Faye if you want.
Oh yeah.
No, I prefer my one. My one's to the point.
No, it's a trifold. You have the one on one side, you have yours on another, and then mine is the ad on the back.
We've got 3. We've sorted. That's it. Done.
This is brilliant. You guys are finally doing. Yeah, this trifold is being produced. So like Lady Lariel's like, yes, of course, anything for you guys. A bit petty, but all right.
Happy.
No. What is your plan for heading to Elturel? What do you guys prefer? Is there any stops along the way that you'd like to make? What's
Yeah.
you're getting the idea of like, I mean, you guys are ready to go whenever you guys want. They're waiting. The army's moving south.
Yeah,
I do have a question. Sorry, go on, Foz.
No, just saying that we're working on that right now. We were about to wrap that up, but we got this information from Epione, and we wanted to run it past you.
I
so-
must say, the Thayans used our teleportation circle, and I've had to secure it. So you will not be able to use that teleportation circle to depart Waterdeep. The
Well, that
Thayans know
sucks.
she had to. When 9 Ilmich came in,
Yeah.
she's like, yeah, I have to craft. It's going to take me some time, but I need to readjust that teleportation circle.
And you won't be here long enough to do it.
So
What
if
kind of
she
time?
stays, honestly, it's a huge security risk if 100 Thayans just popped out of this.
Yeah, no tracking.
Another.
God, how did they find out about our teleportation circle?
Which person told them
Is
about the
there enough
teleportation?
money?
The nearest teleportation circle that you guys know of is in Nairtar. A swamp. Or
Isn't there the
Yeah,
one
or-
outside? Isn't there the one outside of there was one outside of a bridge.
sure, they're outside the bridge.
There was a
Down by
bridge.
Daggerford.
Was it Daggerford or was it? There was a
That's
bridge that we
Boriskier-
popped down.
Boriskier Bridge.
It's Boriski Bridge.
Yeah, Boriskier Bridge has a teleportation circle, and that's 5 nights travel south.
Gotcha.
Mind you, if we're going out, we don't need to leave via teleportation. So we could use a temporary teleportation circle to go to a permanent one. So we've got our in-house wizard. That's obviously all he's doing is our teleport.
He
monkey.
left. Oh, you have teleportation? Ooh, I was gonna say Belgar left, and he's on his way to Elturel with Asa.
That's shocking. Can't do that. He's our portal monkey.
Play Dungeons and Dragons. Figure it out. Yeah.
I will now be your.
You've got it. Yes.
I will-
I want someone to try to teleport. Okay, excellent. Huzzah. Okay. But you guys got this is your last night here in town. You know that it's around that 4 o'clock time period. They're gonna host one more small dinner for you with Lady Lariel and King Melandrak as they stay back to protect what do you call it, Waterdeep, and you're.
Can I
What's that?
talk to? Can I have a chat with a cleric or anyone that knows? Because obviously this heroism scroll I've got.
You literally
Am
have
I-
2 clerics.
Am I even able to use it myself? Is it, or do you need to be a spellcaster to use it?
I believe you need to be a spellcaster to use scrolls.
I thought anybody could try.
I think that's from any class. I'm not sure about anyone in particular.
Obviously, I can cast spells as a ranger, but
Yeah.
it's not really.
For our purposes, anybody. I mean,
Just asking the DM.
I'm just gonna do a Tim rule on this one. Anybody can read a scroll and give it a try.
So, just saying, we
And the history.
Castle Nairtar really isn't that far away. I mean, it's like a quarter of the distance to Castle Nairtar than it is to Elturel. So, if we just go up there and use the teleportation circle there, and are able to just bamf down to where would we end up in like Baldur's Gate or something?
You could. Yeah, I think the next closest one teleportation circle is.
I think that we would end up ahead.
Boriskier Bridge has one. Boriskier Bridge is really close to Alterel.
Yeah, it is.
Just something I wanted to mention in terms of the heroism theme. I'm assuming you're using that for the frightened condition?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I recently just picked up calm emotions. So I can just stop charmed or calm emotions on people.
Oh, that sounds useful. As
It's
well.
only
So
a
if we
second
get,
level.
so if we get scared from a dragon, no, sorry, correction. When we get scared from a dragon, can you cast it on yourself as well?
I'm sorry, Zeus and Cliff, you're now 14, by the way. You guys just hit level 14 by completing the Fan thing. So everybody should be level 14.
Woot.
Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off, Connor.
No, that's fine.
He was
That's fine.
talking about gaining new skills, and he has more skills now.
We're just finding out about the most important ability ever to have is to keep us from not being scared on Tiamat.
I also have Hero's Feast, which also
Yeah,
makes you
that's
immune
the
to
big
frightened.
one.
So we have multiple ways
If-
of stopping
between
frightened.
two clerics, you guys should get buffed big time before going into a fight. Yeah. Like,
Okay,
Operation Kill
so-
the Cleric is in effect.
So, do we need to like when we get down there? Where are we supposed to be meeting up with people?
Elturel is the final release point.
Elturel?
Yep, and that's in 10 days. From today, 9 days in the morning.
Have
we
we had
could take-
any discuss? Sorry, go pause.
Oh no, we could take, like I say, that teleportation and go to the Boriskier Bridge and take the tradeway down through Triel and then over to Elturel. I would think that would be. We'd get there
How
in
far
plenty
is
of time.
Broxy Bridge from Etrel?
It's you got the map.
50 miles.
Yeah.
6 days travel. 6-7 days travel.
Go 50 miles.
I mean, you can.
Wait, we have two.
Yeah, I
we
mean-
have two wyverns. We could.
It's pretty brutal traveling, but yeah.
We have two wyverns. We could fly back and forth. Everybody to the. How fast does a wyvern fly?
Slower
Oh, you
than the
say have
dragons-
the wyverns fly people back? Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. Split the party.
It's
Really.
Manu. It's not the flying that's the problem. It's the fact that they're probably slower than the dragons chasing them.
Whatever, man. I'm just thinking. I'm thinking outside of the box.
Have we been to Etrel before?
Yes.
So
Some
we
of us
could-
have. Some of us have.
Cliff.
So I can't hear you, Kristen.
I have been.
She was
to
asking
Elturel.
who the other cleric was. You're muted, babe. Just so you know. Are you muted up? Oh yeah, you're through this. My bad. She was asking who the other cleric was.
Yeah, some of us. Let's see. In this party, me, Chris, Epione, and Henry, I believe,
Spellcasters. Yeah, and Cliff, yeah.
and Cliff. Yeah.
Because we haven't got anything that can anchor us to Etrel, so we can't teleport directly there, can we?
No.
She can. She's been to Elturel before,
Oh yeah.
I think Lancourt
so she has like a what, an 80% chance of not fucking it up,
No, something's higher than that.
having been there. Yeah. So, we can all look it up. Rules, lawyers.
So, as a protector of Elturel,
Is it teleport or teleportation circle?
Teleport, so I think.
I
What do
pay
you have?
10% of my earnings to Elturel as a tithe. as a Hell Rider.
You've got to know it pretty damn well, then, haven't you?
I do.
So you have teleportation circle. So you have 75% chance of getting the spell. You have about the difference is, did she see it casually or did she see it? Is she very familiar with El Terrell? And I'm gonna say
We spent what, like 5 days there?
roll
So
roll a roll a perception check for me.
And question, Tim,
with
if
advantage.
our person defends Eterel, if he's got an item from Eterel which he must have, could he give that to Epione to use as an associated object?
So the Hell Riders could definitely, if you guys have a trinket from home, hand it to her, and you would plus that up to a 90% chance, I believe.
100% chance for an associated object.
You can roll. Yep.
probably
Yep.
my holy symbol
100.
would be from Eltero.
So you guys could both gather up your stuff and various trinkets. So the associated object, yeah. So the associated object is if you want to go into the room. I was assuming you needed like a tablecloth from that room. But if you describe that you got this holy symbol from the first Hell Rider Church on first, you know what I mean, like 32nd Avenue in El Terrell, you do that sort of thing. It's a ritual. Is this a ritual? It's an action, conjuration. Nope. Components.
You have to have it memorized.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. So Epione is like, yeah, I got this. You know, I can do this. You grab the various things. You sit down, and she's, you know, she could prep this sort of ground. But yeah, you are very confident with what they gave you that you could cast the 7th level teleportation circle.
My location to a permanent teleportation circle.
You won't need to do that. You could go to like a location.
I know of that teleportation circle, and you should be able to transfer to that teleportation circle.
So Forest Gear Bridge, you've been on before. You can go to that teleportation circle. But what we're saying is they have an associated object to something in Elturel. You could go straight to Elturel and go to the cathedral there. So there's two things that make 100%. To another permanent circle and to have an associated object. Does that make sense? I think they're suggesting associated object.
It means it bypasses the 6 days from the bridge to Eltrel. So technically we can go on an adventure for 9 days, do something else, get drunk heavily, and then teleport directly to Eltrel just before.
Let's play Dungeons and Dragons! Dude, let's do weird stuff! Just tell me where you're going so I can build a map. But yeah!
I know where I'm going. Guess where I'm going, Tim. You know it.
If you Arcane Brotherhood? Oh, oof. Scratch his head. Okay.
We're going to start a smear campaign and a peaceful demonstration outside of Arcane Brotherhood's HQ.
Yeah.
And make a chain so they can't get past us.
And pass out pass out trifolds.
Hey guys,
Done,
are we gonna
Manny.
take a long rest?
I don't think we have since we got back from.
Yeah, you already have. You already have taken a long rest. Yeah.
Okay, well in that case, let's see. Henry, Manu, Cliff.
He says, everybody? Are you listening to this?
Connor. You guys have 12 plus 12 temporary hit points.
What? For how long?
All right. I won't ask
Forever. Forever. I love you. Forever.
You're awesome.
Everyone has can give 12 temporary hit points, and I gain 19.
I take back everything I've said about you. That's bad.
That just means we get to look at a man whose eye without taking hit point damage anymore. It's fine.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Has anybody else been tracking the minor technical issues of hit points going down by one every hour we spend with Bannock?
Yeah.
No.
Pay attention to your character sheets. Yeah.
I feel great.
Yeah.
You should, yeah. We have more life than life right now.
What is this? These messages brought to you by Cthulhu's Revenge, 20 copper pieces. Come see us in Fandolin, the fine purveyors of shellbugs. Jeez.
Is that the first time you've seen those pictures?
Yeah. Just
This is the tri.
It's distracting.
This is the
Look at Twitch
trifold.
thing. I'll get sucked in.
This is the trifold.
Yeah, it's really cool.
But you got to rotate them round. Rotate them
Arcane
round,
Brotherhood, you suck. Are cowards and will not fight Tiamat. Okay.
Look at it.
So
Here's the other one. Here's the other one.
Rule the world with trifolds. We want you to fight Tiamat. Okay, that's what
Tarn Thunderspell? We'll say that's Tarn Thunderspell's Hornblade, not Uncle Sam, because who's that in Faerun? But yeah. Okay, so for speed, the plan is to teleport to Elturel,
We're just about done.
or are you guys want to do some sandboxy?
I really don't have anything else that I can do between here and there, personally. So, I support anybody in their endeavors, but I would rather
honest,
just
I
go
don't
now
think-
and then spend time in
Yeah.
Elturel before we have to.
To be honest, it's probably a good move that I get taken to Eterel rather than be allowed to have a few days currently. It may not be advantageous to us.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that a total of 8? You guys have a total of 8 right now? Okay, yeah. You're prepping the circle. How many can you bring? 10? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Who do you want to bring? Do you want to bring Ilmich? Do you want to bring Leosin? Okay.
Liam Neeson.
Okay.
Well,
You were very gracious by allowing me to come with you. And he's staring at your teleportation runes as you can
Right.
tell, like he's just got creepy eyes, and just you see Lady Larry all just like, oh, you're ruining everything. Come on, we got to get rid of these things. Yeah, he's there collecting like big time.
all right.
So you're creating the teleportation circle. Okay. You draw it quickly, and you guys, all you have to do, you can tell a bit of energy starts wafting, from the ground in this circle. And Epione, you're just like, okay, like step in, let's go. Nailmich, he kind of like, kind of just, it does. Anyways, we're not going to get caught up in that. Eventually, there'll be rules about this, but right now, there's not. And your party your rabbit, wyverns?
No.
Any guidance to the wyverns? Any guidance to the wyverns before you guys go?
They stay behind.
Okay, so wyverns,
I'll use
Daisy,
the animal
Liam,
handler.
and Ash.
Can Ash go?
Can you hear me? Sorry. My preference
I
would
hear
be
you.
that anybody that we don't want to be in the fight would be in our stronghold, because that's got Hallow casted on it right now.
Okay. And
That's just my
Ash,
input.
Just me and
is
Ash.
Ash coming?
Just me
Okay,
and Ash.
Ash is
Yeah.
coming. Okay, so boop, boop, you guys all get in there, and you ready?
Zoop.
Doing this? Okay, you're heading to the Cathedral of Helm in Elturel, and you guys, from your mind, there were very large cathedrals in this huge parade ground. You guys, so you guys kind of have an idea. Last time you were there, there was a weird celebration going on. It was a big paladin celebration, and you guys get into the circle. The energy starts to rise, and then you all just seemingly your body just like disincorporates a little bit, like quickly, streams of energy and force just blast upwards, and just racing, streaking force is going around you in an upward fashion, and then you feel it flushing back downwards as like you arrive, and pews to the cathedral just get like pushed to the side and slide in the center of this massive cathedral with this huge what is the thing with the smoke thing that I always forget what it's called, censer. Yeah, censer is just like waving back and forth above your heads, these purple lights coming in from these very beautiful stained glass windows that go from like, from the almost from the floor to about 60, 70 feet up, or about 100 feet down, as you see acolytes and holding cloths and things like that that might flush against a candelabra and catch on fire or something. They're just like, whoa, like looking very shocked at you all as you arrive, and you look up from this large rose window. You can see this ever-present floating ball above Elturel that just instills in you, for like one of the first times, like for Zesis and Cliff, you see it there above you, the eternal light of Elturel that floats above the city, and that's where we'll begin our next episode.
So,
Huzzah.
we're getting there, guys.
Yeah, whew, yeah. And then you got
We've
like
got-
10 days before the armies move, so you guys bamped ahead.
Yep.
I say we got there. We've got there. That's it. We're ready.
Yeah,
Better-
yeah. I'll just
better
have
to-
to, I'll
better
have
to
to do a
bump
bunch
ahead
of
and have
encounters
extra
for
time
bar
than-
fights and things. Yeah.
Yeah, we're lucky we didn't let Connor go off on his.
Yeah, you guys are back in Elturel. It's been literally 2 years since you guys were back
2
in this
years.
town. Remember
Yeah.
Boldock?
Yeah, Boldock that I
right?
wrestled. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll have to bring him back into the mix.
Didn't know he was
Cliff,
with us.
you are-
He was with us.
Cliff, you are quite lucky. There was going to be a whole smear campaign going.
Yeah,
there
Tim
literally
said-
was going to be.
Tim said 4 sessions to Tiamat or something like that. I feel like that would have very much not been right if we let you do that.
That would have been weird. I was gonna go with it. I mean, I figured out. I got 2 weeks. But yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out.
Thanks to
on the
everybody
old-
who
on the old Twitch
subscribed.
side.
Thanks to everybody who subscribed. JBMM31, Dogmy. Who else subscribed today? We had 6.
Whoa, cool. Yeah, thank you guys very much. And then if we can, we'll close off the Twitch, and then we'll have a little admin amongst ourselves and decide when our next session is and things like that, because the old summer months are hitting. We gotta carefully plan. But thanks everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good one. See you next time.
See you next time.